Hello everyone, this is Vishwas and welcome to our YouTube channel Frontend Devs. In today's video, we will discuss top 10 important or mostly used JavaScript array methods. And let's start with our first method. The first method will be forEach. forEach is very important method and it is used to iterate over each array element and then it will execute the callback function on that every element. And there are few important things when we talk about the forEach. First thing, it does not return the new array and it always return as the undefined. Second thing, it could modify the existing array based on the implementation we did, but that is not generally the case. And one important thing, it cannot break in between. That means we cannot use the break or continue to break the for each in between, unlike for loop. And the final thing, it is mainly used for side effects like logging or updating the DOM. And the implementation is really simple. We will use this for each method on existing array. We have a for each method here. It will take the callback function and it will generally take the three important parameters. The first parameter will be the element, the second parameter will be the index, and the third parameter will be your original array. Then we can do the console.log here. Console.log, and I will simply print the name of each employee. In the element, we will get the entire object, and from that object, we just need to print the name here. Let's save the changes, and if you go to the browser, you will see all the names are printed here. Then we can use the index as well if needed. That is not generally the case, but in few cases, like we need to use the index as well. And if you do the index here, you will see those indexes are printed here. And this is the simple use case of for each method. Hope you clear with for each. Now let's talk about the next method, and that is map. The map is most widely used method in JavaScript or any of the framework. If you want to iterate over the array element, if you want to transform some data, and if you want to map over each array element or the API response, in that case, we also use the map method. When we talk about the map, it will create a new array by applying the function on each array element. Some key fact, it does not modify the original array. It is used for a data transformation, and you can think map as a loop plus return as the new array. And there could be a multiple use cases, right? Consider we want to increment the salary of each employee by 10%. In that case, we can use the map here. For implementation, map always return as the new array. We can go with the updated employee here, and then we can use the map method on our existing employee array. I will do simply employee.map, then it will take the callback function. Again, same as a for each method, it will take the three parameter. The first one is the actual element, then current index, and then we have a array. But generally, those two parameters are not widely used, and we will focus on element. Then we will return something here. We will return our element as it is, but we will simply update the salary. So salary will be element dot salary into 10%, right? That means 1.1. And then we will just do the console.log here. We will print the updated employee. And one more thing, like we will need element here. Let's save the changes. And if you go to the browser, we will see we are getting the all four element as a new array here. But the salary of all the employee is incremented by 10%. For first element, like we have salary as a 50 and that is incremented to 55. All through, like we are getting some decimal number, but we can fix that by using math.round. If you go to the browser now, you will see the salary of each employee is incremented by 10%. Hope you are clear with second method, that is map. Now let's talk about the third method, and that is filter. It is used to return the new array with element that meet some condition. That means it will iterate over each array element, apply callback function on it, and whatever logic we have in that callback function. If that satisfy the condition, the callback function will return true or false to us, and based on that, our final array will be written with filter result. It is used to filtering the data based on some criteria. Example, like we might need to filter the active user from the list of user, or we might need to filter the student whose score is greater than 50%. Again, it is best used when we want to remove the unwanted data. And things are very simple. Same as map, it will also return us the new array, but instead of map, we will use filter here. And then again, this callback function will take the three parameters, the element, index, and array. And then we will add some condition here. Employee whose salary is greater than 70,000, right? If you go with that, like we need to go with the element here, then salary could be greater than 70,000. It will iterate over each array element and filter only those elements whose salary is greater than 70,000. In our case, like we have only one employee, that is Bob, and that will be get in the filtered employee array. If I go to the browser, you will see we have only one employee here, and that is Bob. Again, if you want to have the salary is greater than or equal to 70,000, then we have two employee here now. And then filtered array will return based on that. And the same way we can add any kind of condition, like we can add the condition for filtering the employee with particular experience. We can go with the and or condition as per the requirement. After that, let's discuss another most important method, and that is reduce. Reduce method is used to return the single value from array. The example could be like if you want to get the sum, average, or if you want to flatten the array or grouping the object, in that case, we can use the reduce method. And things are simple here. If you want to find the salary of all the employees as a sum, in that case, we can use the reduce method. So I will go with the total here. Then we have the reduce method. And this reduce method will take two parameters. The first parameter will be the callback function, and then second parameter will be initial value. I will go with initial value as a 0, and then this callback function will take four different parameters. The first parameter will be the accumulator that will hold the initial value, and when we iterate over array element, it will store the result of previous operation. Then second will be the current element, then third will be the current index, and fourth one will be array. And then we will add our logic here. We can simply go with the accumulator plus element dot salary. And if we print the total, one more thing, we need to remove this bracket. Let's save the changes. And now if I go to the browser, and you will see it will give the salary of all the employee as a sum. And that is what reduce method is. Hope you are clear with that. After that, let's talk about the next method, and that is find. The find method is very simple. It is same as a filter, and it will return us the first matching element. Instead of reduce, let me go with the find, and we don't need accumulator here. Again, it will take the three parameters, element, index, and the array, and it will just return the first element that will satisfy the condition. Let me go with the element, and we will return the first employee whose salary is greater than or equal to 70,000. And if you go to the result, let me store the data in the result. And if I print here, we will see the first employee that matching this condition. In case of filter, like it's returning as the two element, but in case of find, it will return as first matching element. Now let's talk about the next method, and that is find index. The find index is exactly similar to find method, but it will return as the first matching index, not the element. If I save the changes and go to the browser, you will see we are getting the element with index 1 here. If I go with little bit different condition like element dot experience, and if I set it equal to 3, then we should get the index as a 3 here because this condition is meeting for our fourth element. If I go to the browser, we will see we are getting index as a 3 here. After that, let's talk about two more important method, and those are sum and every. Sum and every both method will return the boolean value. The sum will return true if at least one element satisfy the condition of the callback function. And the every function will return true only if all the elements are satisfy the condition in the input array. Otherwise, it will return false. Things are simple. Like if you go with the sum method, we will use sum method here, and we are just going with condition as a employee.experience equal to 3. That means at least one element from your array should satisfy this condition. Experience should be equal to 3, and that is available for name employee with David. And then we will print this sum here. And in this case, it should return us true. It is returning the true. That should be fine. But if I go with experience as a 4, then it will not satisfy this condition. And in this case, we are getting result as a false. And now if I go with every, right, the every is work differently, and it will return true only if all the elements will satisfy condition. If I print every here, and in this case, like we have only 3 employee that will match the condition. The condition is not met for the last employee, and in this case, it will return us the false. But if you go with experience is greater than or equal to 3, that means all our employees is now satisfying the condition. And in this case, this will return us true. Hope you are clear with sum and every. In case of sum, at least one element should satisfy the condition. And in case of every, all the input element should satisfy the condition. Only in that case, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return us false. After that, let's talk about next important method, and that is sort. The sort method is used to sort the array in place by using alphabetical or numeric order. And things are simple. Sort method will not return anything, and it will modify your original array. Let me go with sort here. Then this sort method will again take the callback function, and by the design, it will take current and next element. In this case, like I'm going with A and B, and if you want to do any kind of sorting, suppose we want to sort the element based on salary, then we will simply do A dot salary minus B dot salary. And then we will print our employees here. Let's save the changes. And if I go to the browser, we will see we have a new array. But in this case, like we have employees sorted based on their salary of ascending order. If I do in different order, right? If I do B first and then A, in that case, it will sort our array based on salary from descending order. That means the salary with higher will be first here. Hope you are clear with that. And the final method we can talk about removing or adding the element from the array. And those are some important method like we have push, pop, shift, and unshift. Push is used to add the element at the end of the array. Pop is used to remove the element from array end, while shift is used to remove the element from start, and unshift is used to add the element to start of the array. And to understand those method, I will go with different example. I have created array here, and then we will add a few elements into the array. Then we will print that array. Then we will do the pop, then shift and unshift. Let's save the changes, and if I go to the browser, we will see the difference here. Initially, we have only 3 elements. Then we are doing array.push with element 5, and then we are adding 2 more elements. With push, we can add the 1 or more elements, and those are printed here. Then we are doing array.push, and it will delete the last element, that is 7. Again, we are doing array.unshift, and it will add the element 1 at the start of array. That means it's added 1 here, and then I am doing array.shift again. That means it will remove the first element from start of array. Hope you are clear with push, pop, shift, and unshift. We have seen all important JavaScript array methods, and that is asked in most of the interviews. Either those are directly asked by the interviewer, or those will be used with some implementation. Like interviewer will give you some scenario, and to achieve those scenarios we need to use these different methods. Hope you are clear with all the details. And if you want to detail video on some of the important method like for each, map, filter, or reduce, I have created in-depth videos. You will find all those videos in the description below. I have discussed those videos in detail with their polyfills. So do watch that. I think that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching and see you in next one. Till now, thank you. Bye.